In this video, we're going to be digging into the second part of my ecom and AI video series where I'm showing you how I've automated 70 to 80% of my ecom stores with AI. Now, this isn't just one AI agent or ChatGPT or Claude or anything like that. This is actual AI agents automating, making decisions and running my Shopify stores. Now, there are multiple agents that I use to do this and I've built over the past few months. I'm going to be digging into each individual agent in a separate video. So this is video 2. Now, in the first video, if you've not seen that, go back and check it out. I covered my master product description writer. And that's my AI agent that writes incredible product descriptions for my ecom stores, basically automatically, and I've got a really cool way of doing that. So if you want to check that out for your own ecom stores, go and check out the first video. You'll see a link to that in the description. In this video, I'm going to be digging into order fulfillment. So we're going to be looking at this AI automation on screen here, which is what I use to fulfill orders. Now, I want to get specific here and just talk about what I'm fulfilling. This is running on a dropship store. So I have a store that I sell items on, and when I sell an item, I have a supplier that will then fulfill that item for me. Now, this is quite a manual process for me for this particular store. So what I'd usually have to do is get the order. I'd have to figure out where the order's going from, obviously the order within Shopify, what the product is, which supplier is going to fulfill that, because I have 10 suppliers on this particular site. Then I would need to create an email, send that off to them. And as part of that process, I've also had to build in pricing margin calculators too, because I want to know how much I'm making per sale. I've recently been running lots and lots of tests on pricing changes, automated pricing changes with AI that sometimes can go a bit wrong. So I want to know and make sure that every single order coming through my store that I'm about to fulfill meets my margin criteria as well. And that's what this AI agent does. So not only does it check to see if the margin is correct from that particular purchase or that particular order, but it will then go through and fulfill that order for me or process that order with 10 different suppliers depending on what the product is. So let me talk you through the workflow really briefly and show you how this works, what all of these nodes are. So firstly, we have the Shopify trigger order created. So when an order happens on my store, this triggers. So I've connected that to my Shopify store. That then pulls through all the order and I get the product data of what's being ordered as well here from this call. We then go through to getting the inventory cost. So every single product that is ordered on my site, I then pick out the inventory cost, or I retrieve the inventory cost. So what it actually costs me. As I mentioned at the beginning, this particular store is a dropship store. So I have obviously costs for every product, and I'll have a margin, and then I'll have a sale price. So I get the actual cost. What is it going to cost me to fulfill that particular product? Now, the reason I do that is because we push it into this next node here, which is our calculate margin. So I've got a function that basically runs through some of the data here and calculates what the margin is on that particular sale. Now, I have that set quite low, and it's anything above 5% is seen as okay. But if something is off, so if there's a price discrepancy on my site, which can happen in very, very rare cases, but can, because I've got some automated pricing rules on my site. I'm testing a few different AI agents on price matching right now. And again, you'll see some of that stuff in a later video. Sometimes the pricing can have a discrepancy. So I want to catch that before I fulfill the order. So that's what this does here. So we've calculated the margin. As long as the margin looks good, we can go down the relevant channels. If the margin is wrong, we then push down to this Slack margin alert here. So all I basically do is I send a Slack message so I can then manually go and check that order. Now, if margin is good, which is pretty much 95% of the time, we push through these two tracks here. And there's two things going on. The first track is up at the top here. So we get the product details. We scrape the product page URL because I pick out a delivery timescale. Now, this is because it's quite unique to my site. I don't have delivery timescales set on each product the same for each supplier. They can change depending on what the product is. Some products can be out of stock. Some products can be on back order. So what I do to get around this is I have automated systems to upload products and update them on my site. Is I scrape the product page. So I just look at the product page that the customer's just ordered from. as I have a detail on there of what the delivery is, so the working days. So I scrape that page and then I push that into an AI agent. And this is the AI piece here. The AI agent will look at the page, look at the data on that page, and it will find the delivery timescale that was promised on the page. And I need that because, again, I need to update the customer on when they can expect their order. And again, this particular site has a lot of different custom delivery timescales. So this can change. It can actually change on the same product sometimes from one order to the next. So I have to have AI in there to check it. This was something I did manually, where I'd have to then go in and check, right, what are we looking at for delivery? I'll need to update that. Now I've got the AI agent doing that for me. So again, this is what the AI agent here is doing. So finding the delivery timescale from the product page. And then basically the AI agent then pushes that data into a Google Sheet. And I have an internal order sheet that basically tracks every single order. So I get all the customer details. And then, of course, I get that delivery timescale in there. That's basically what this track does up here. It's all focused on making sure that delivery stuff is right and it's correct. And I've got that just in case the customer requests that information. On this particular site, I've got hundreds of different products and I have 10 different suppliers that supply those products. So when I make a sale, I then have to identify who the supplier is and basically who's going to fulfill this order for me. So this is what this track does here. We identify that, we get the shipping address, we format that and pass it into a nice email. And then I get a Slack order alert. So I get an alert in Slack to say, you've made a sale, here's your margin, here's everything. But then I also send that email off as well via Gmail to the correct supplier. So that they can then go and process and we can get that order fulfilled. So that is my order processing flow. The AI element within this flow is this top track here, which is really, really important. Based off of this particular website, this is an entire manual process that I was doing manually. So pulling this AI agent into the top here to actually find delivery timescales has helped me immensely. And this is all automated as soon as an order happens. And I would only be brought into this equation if there's a problem with the margin, which is really important, of course. Now, just before I dive into the individual nodes and go into more detail on the build, you can download this workflow for free from our amazing community beta state that you can see on screen here. If you scroll down on our community to workflow drops, you will see this download in there along with a ton of other free workflows that we're using across e-com businesses, but also software businesses as well. There's a ton of stuff in there you can download for free. You will find a link below this video to join this community, completely free, and you can come and grab this workflow. If you want to skip the full, more detailed build and just want to upload this to your own n8n account. If you are new to n8n, you will need an n8n account for this particular workflow to work. So if you want to check out n8n, you can sign up for a free 14-day trial below, so you can upload the workflow that you see on screen here and all the other ones inside of our community to have a play around with. You can find a link below this video as well. The first thing is, this is all triggered from a new order happening in Shopify. So when I open this up, just to go through this node, I want to touch on one thing you will need to set up with it being Shopify. Now, you will see some blurred out information on this particular build video because I'm actually using a real order that's gone through here just to demo this build and show off the different nodes. So obviously I need to hide some sensitive data from that order. So that's why parts of this are blurred out, but you can see everything you need to see how this build works. And of course, if you join our community, you can download the actual workflow, set it up on your own Shopify store and use your own data on this. So the first thing I want to show you though is the trigger that we've pulled in here is a Shopify order created trigger. So with Shopify, once you connected Shopify to your n8n account, you can trigger all of these different events to start workflows, which gives you, I mean, if you're a Shopify store owner, just looking through all of these different triggers will open up so many different ideas that you can actually create automations and of course AI agent workflows around. Now I've got this on order created, so as soon as an order happens, this particular order data will trigger and come through. Now for this to work and for you to connect to this inside your Shopify account, you will need a Shopify app creating. Now, on the credentials here, you can see I've got the access token account already set up. Now, yours won't have that. It will just say create new credential. So if I just drop this down and click on the create new credential, you'll see this. So you're going to see a screen where you have to come and enter some information here to be able to pull data from your Shopify account. Now, that's going to include your subdomain for whatever your store is, and then access tokens and app secret keys. Now, n8n is amazing when it comes to docs. So if you click on open docs on any of these credentials, it will walk you through every single step by step. And this will walk you through how to set up and get the necessary credentials for you to connect to your Shopify store. Now, this is the app I created for my order processing, which is connected to what you've just seen there. And I just wanted to show you this because I just wanted to show you what access scopes I've got. So as part of setting up your app, I know that might sound complex right now, but if you follow the n8n guide here, it walks you through everything, even if you've never done this before. But when it comes to this, you will need specific scopes for your orders to be pulled through. Now, these are the scopes I've used for my app. So when you set yours up, and this will all become clear when you're doing it, these are the scopes that I've added. You don't actually need all of these, but I did add a few more because I may use this app for other use cases within my Shopify store. So I just wanted to show you this so you can see all the scopes you're going to need on screen here. So the next step is we make a call to Shopify just to get the product data. So I've got the order, but then I just make a call, grab the product data using the product ID. Again, that node, when you download the workflow, you'll see all the settings to do that. But it's using these same credentials that you're going to set up for your trigger. So you definitely need this set up. Anywhere that you see the Shopify icon here, so there, and there, and I actually use it here as well in a moment, I'll show you, is all using that same app that I've created. So again, go through, create that app, give it those scopes, and you can connect it to all of these nodes. Now, once we've got the product data, I then get the inventory cost. Now, there's a couple of ways you could do this. I'm actually making a call to Shopify. So I make a call to Shopify to basically get the product cost. Now, for some reason, and I find this wild, but when you get product data from Shopify, it does not give you the cost or the item cost. Now, you can enter that item cost within your Shopify account, but I cannot find that cost there. I mean, if I'm not looking in the right place and I can get that data from here, or I'm doing something wrong, please comment below if you know what to do there, because I just genuinely can't find it. I have to make a separate call just to get that cost. Now, I could get the cost from my own Google Sheets, but I've got all of those updated on my Shopify store, so I may as well just make another API call. Doesn't cost me anything to grab that cost. So that's what this API call does there. It's grabbing the cost of what's just been bought. So once we've got the inventory cost, we can now calculate the margin. And I have a function call here, which basically does this. So this will calculate the margin on my product. So it will calculate it based off of the price the customer has paid for the product, and of course that inventory cost here. That will then give me a number and a percentage, which is where I make this call from. So I have, is it profitable or not? If that is true, that's going to get sent down these two tracks. If it's not, so there is a problem with margin, it's going to come and alert me in Slack. So the first thing, we'll look at if the order doesn't get sent, what happens? So we go to this Slack margin alert node here. Now on this particular node, you are again going to have to set up an app for this to work. And this is just a Slack app you are going to need. You are going to just click create credential again, and it will walk you through how to do this. There's a couple of ways to do it, but again, Slack in general, as far as n8n, is really, really easy to set up. So when you click through these, you can do OAuth 2, so you can connect directly to Slack, or you can do access token. Again, click the docs. The docs are amazing on here. It walks you through absolutely everything. So I'm not going to walk you through setting up an app on here because the docs are already there for you to do that. But we have Slack connected here. So I go to a channel called Review Orders. This is then going to send this message. So it's going to show me which is the order, what the order number is, needs margin verification. And it shows what the margin is that's being reported. So that's a simple Slack message. And I get alerted. We've just made a sale, amazing. But there's a problem with pricing. You need to go and check this out. And at this point, this automation stops. And these two tracks will not happen. So if there is a profitable sale, which is most cases, we go down this track and this track. So we're going to start with this track here. So the get order email, format shipping address, two simple functions. Don't really need to walk you through those. You can see those nodes yourself when you download this workflow. But this is just getting an order email from a list of emails that all my suppliers, so it will match this up to the supplier that's pulled through on this order. And then basically we have a shipping address. So I format a shipping address for an email. So this particular node here formats that into an email I can then send to the supplier. Now I get a Slack order alert. So this is the same Slack bot before that I showed that I set up the app. So we send another message. This one goes into a different channel of mine, new orders. And we've got the Slack message here, which is the formatted email Slack message that we created in the previous node. So that's sent to me. So I get that in full. Just in case there's an issue with the email sending, I can then just copy paste that email to the relevant supplier. And then finally, we have a Gmail connected where we send the order email using that Slack message or formatted email. Which happens automatically. Now, if there's a problem here, the email doesn't get sent or anything like that, I have it in Slack that I can go and just send that through a copy and paste. So my job's done. I've just got to click copy, click paste if needed. So that's that row there. Now, the top one here, which is where we've got our AI agent. So what we do here is we get product details from here. So again, we make that call to Shopify. We get the product details. And then I push it into this node. So from the previous node where we've just had an API call, go to Shopify, grab the product data. The reason we do that is because I want to know the URL handle for that product, because I'm going to scrape that web page. So as you can see here in this expression, I have my URL here. So this is going to be your store or my store. And then I've got the JSON.handle here. And this comes from that previous product API call. This allows me to then find the exact web page that the product was just bought from. And again, from that, I can then scrape all of that web page. So that's what happens here. I make a GET request, scrape all of the data off my web page or product page, and I then send that through to our AI agent. Now, I found this is the best way to do this. And I love this series because I'm showing you a custom setup for my particular site here. There are no delivery or fulfillment apps on Shopify that can do this. So I've built this, and again, it costs me next to nothing to do. It's like talking pennies a month. So again, as far as the AI agent here, what happens then is we feed in the HTML that we've just scraped. So it is the JSON.data. That's what's given to the AI, and I give it these instructions. So find the text on the page that starts with delivered free in and put out on output what follows it. As an example, if the text says delivered in free in 7 to 10 working days, you would output this. And then another example, output this. I give it two examples. This can be multiple things. And again, my AI agent then scans my entire web page code, will find the delivery time on there, and again, pass that through to the create order section. So this is then a simple append onto a Google Sheet I've got internally that's going to put the order number, the SKU, the product, the vendor, the email for the vendor, postcode, price, margin, and then at the bottom here, if I just scroll down, we've got the date ordered, but this is the output from the previous AI agent. So I'm getting the delivery time scale. That's then uploaded onto a Google Sheet so that I know exactly when that was ordered and what the delivery time scale was when they ordered it from my website. And that is my order processing workflow. Now, I think what's really interesting about this one is this probably is not going to work for every single Shopify store out there because it's a custom build. But what I'm showing you here is how you can create these to do whatever you want. If you've got a different way of fulfilling your orders and you do certain things afterwards, then you can still build that out into here. You can add to this, you can edit this, but you can see how you can quite easily do this in n8n. There are no apps on Shopify that could do this for me because it's so custom. So I built this myself for literally pennies, which is the amazing thing with AI agents and these types of automations on n8n. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got a ton of value out of this and actually seeing what a custom order processing flow looks like when you insert some AI in there as well, in parts that I just would have been doing myself. So again, maybe it's giving you some ideas of how you can handle yours. Maybe you're using an app on Shopify, spending a ton of money, and you can actually automate it using n8n and an AI agent. And hopefully I've given you some ideas to go about that. Now, don't forget to subscribe, because I've got some incredible content coming, especially around marketing when it comes to my e-com stores. Marketing is the exciting part. And in the next few videos, we're going to be digging into specific agents within my business that are actually helping me grow and scale it from a marketing point of view. So hit subscribe. Don't forget to like this video if you did get value from it. I massively appreciate it. And of course, if you've got any questions, fire them in the comments below. Join our community on Beta State. I'll chat to you in there as well, and I'll see you in the next video.